All right, we are working on our worksheet for section 2.3. So we're learning about Venn diagrams. We're going to start with, we'll look at both of these first two questions here. So question 1 says shade in the correct region or regions to create the Venn diagram for a complement. So you have to remember that notation for a complement. So the rule for a complement says that this is everything not in A. So basically what we've got then, well, everything in A would be inside of this circle here. So we want everything instead outside of that circle. Now a common mistake to make here is to just only shade in this portion. So we're outside of A, but then notice that we're still restricting it to, in this case, being inside of B. So this would be, for instance, what's in B, but not in A, which is not the definition of A complement. That's actually the definition of B minus A. So we'll put that one on the board for in one of our next videos. But notice that that's not what we're looking for here, right? This is not the same thing as A complement. So we're going to look instead for B complement or A complement, which would also include, remember it says everything in U, in the universe, but not in A. So not only all of these parts in B, but also the parts of the rest of what's in this whole Venn diagram, what's in that whole rectangular region. So essentially the only thing left unshaded is the circle A. So this would be our Venn diagram for A complement. The second question on here instead gives us a Venn diagram, and it asks us to identify a region. So one thing we might see on here is we've got 3 circles this time. There's a set A, a set B, and a set C. And notice the region that's shaded right here is this central region that's common to all of them. Notice it's inside of the circle for A, inside of the circle for B, and inside of the circle for C. So remember the operation that says, well, I want to be in multiple sets, and the overlap of those is the intersection. So notice we're in A and in B, so in A intersect B, and also in C. So we're in A intersect B intersect C in this diagram on the bottom. Notice with these examples, the Venn diagrams were already drawn. In the second question, that might be a common question of identifying a region. And the top one, when it asks you to create this Venn diagram for a complement, you also potentially could have a question where you have to start from the beginning, so drawing the diagram from scratch like we were doing in the videos on the board as well, as opposed to just having a picture and having to shade it in. Another common thing that you'll see, like in the homework, is they might have these different regions numbered, and then you might identify which regions you shaded. So like here we shaded the region 3 and 4, where we shaded in this portion of B and the outside of both circles in the full rectangle. So that's sometimes how the homework might have you type it in, or potentially like an online question might ask you to type it in. But just strictly for the worksheet, all you would have to do is the shading portion of that.